Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Young on 3rd down. The open man is Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Young now. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. Now here's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ferguson. And able to rip off a big chunk of... yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Yellow. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. This is Brown. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Oh, and it's off the mark. Harrison Butker pushed it to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
To try again after the sack. Young under pressure again, and down he goes again. Khalil Mack in there for a milestone sack as that moves him past Hall of Famer Michael Strahan, who finished his career with 141.5. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Young working out of the gun. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over.
Here we go. Patsy.
On first down, McFarland. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll run on first down. Brown. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
On 2nd down, McFarland. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 21. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Let's go. Yellow. Our little lady. Let's go. Let's get this ball. Yellow. Mike, 53. Mike. Exit. 53 to Mike.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He finds Taylor, complete. 11 more yards, not go around, a first down as well.
Let's go.
On first down, McFarland, and he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there, and this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A first down carry for Barkley. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Saquon Barkley running right. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Young. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And this one is right down the middle. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They defer to Brown to start the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
15. Watch safety. Yellow. Safety's creeping.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine, I marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Yellow, correct, 180.
No getting on this defense, no getting.
On second down now, McFarland. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 37. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They run the counter. McFarland. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you talk about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
Mahomes firing complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run on first down. McFarland slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And an alley to run. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
43!
On first down, Mahomes finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. They come out here in the eye. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. Steps away to his left. And Brown's got it for a Kansas City touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Butker now to add the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes, he'll find Hall. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. They go play fake. Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made. No grounding. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a rare two-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Young now from the 50. They will find Davis. That's complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 8 on the year. As his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Now for the point after. And that one puts them on top here in the 3rd.
Next, the score, Panthers 13, Chiefs 12.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. And that only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
On 2nd down, McFarland. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call it the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Uncorks one for Davis. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Fielded at the 43.
Yellow. Let's go, Lou, lady.
On 1st down, it's Brown. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brings up 3rd down and 8.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Mahomes going to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys were sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback, and then he delivers the ball.
So after 2 unsuccessful attempts, this time he's able to find the range, and he gets his guys the lead.
And we wondered whether those 2 misses would come back to haunt him. They still might, but at least he's able to get some sort of redemption and get his guys back in front.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
That's it, baby. We don't work. At their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
He's going to look deep for more. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 76 yards. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
53, Mike 53. Here it comes, 15. to Mike. 53 to Mike. I got you. I got you. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And the throw left side.